Have you ever found yourself reaching for a wall while walking through your home, or hesitating before stepping off a curb, unsure if your balance will hold? Maybe your steps have become smaller, more tentative, especially on uneven ground. At first, these changes seem minor, barely worth noticing, but over time they quietly build up, eroding your confidence and replacing it with an ever-present fear of falling. Here's something many people don't talk about: balance rarely disappears all at once. In most cases, it fades gradually because of five common, yet completely preventable mistakes. The good news: once you understand what these mistakes are, you can take action to stop the decline and even restore the stability you once had. In this video, we're going to break down each of these five pitfalls and, more importantly, show you practical, simple solutions that you can start using today to move with more confidence and freedom. Whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, the steps we'll cover could make the difference between walking with hesitation and walking with bold, fearless energy. Before we dive in, if you find this video helpful, please like it so we can keep sharing valuable aging lessons. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do that now and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. And let's make this interactive. If you're watching and getting value from this content, leave a comment below with the number 1. If you feel we can improve, leave a 0. Your feedback helps us serve you better. Let's begin. Mistake number 1, neglecting ankle and foot strength. Most people believe balance begins in the brain or depends solely on strong hips and a stable core. While these areas are important, they aren't the first responders in maintaining stability. That role belongs to your feet and ankles. These often overlooked structures serve as your body's foundation, your first defense against imbalance. Each time you walk across gravel step, off a curb, or catch yourself from tripping your ankles and feet, make split-second adjustments to keep you upright. They send constant sensory feedback to your brain: adjust posture, absorb shock, and correct minor wobbles, often without you even noticing. But as we age, these muscles and joints begin to weaken, not because of age alone, but because we stop challenging them. Modern shoes with thick soles cushion our feet to the point where we don't fully engage the muscles. We walk on flat, predictable surfaces, pavement tiles, hardwood, depriving our feet of variety and stimulation. And many of us rarely go barefoot anymore, robbing our toes and arches of the engagement they need to stay strong. The result: feet that are stiff and unresponsive, ankles that hesitate rather than spring into action. Instability becomes your new normal. You may not notice it immediately, but the signs are there: stumbles, slower steps, a reluctance to move freely. Let me tell you about George, a 76-year-old man who felt that something was off. He hadn't had any major injuries, his eyesight was great, but he kept stumbling. "It's like my feet just don't react fast enough anymore," he told me. When we assessed his ankle flexibility and strength, they were practically dormant. His feet had gone to sleep. But within just 2 weeks of targeted foot and ankle exercises, simple foot circles, towel scrunches, and standing calf raises, George noticed dramatic improvements. "I didn't realize my feet mattered so much," he said. "Now I can feel them working again." Want to test yourself? Stand barefoot and try lifting onto your tiptoes. Do you wobble? Can you hold it? Next, try standing on one foot. Do your ankles feel awake and responsive, or do they feel sluggish, like they're not quite supporting you? If you struggle, you're not alone. But this is a crucial wake-up call. The decline of foot and ankle strength is one of the first dominoes in the chain of balance deterioration, but the solution is simple. No fancy equipment needed. Walk barefoot on uneven surfaces like grass, sand, or a textured mat to stimulate the nerves in your feet. Roll a tennis ball under your sole to ease tension and awaken tight muscles. Stretch your calves each day to maintain flexibility. And practice slow, deliberate steps heel to toe, so your feet engage with each movement. As you begin to reawaken your feet, the benefits ripple outward. Your posture improves. You recover more quickly from slips. Your walking becomes smoother, more confident, more natural. Balance doesn't just happen, it's built. And it begins with your feet. So if you're still with me and finding value in this lesson, please comment the number 1 below. Let's move forward together. Mistake number 2, avoiding balance. Training altogether. Now let's talk about the second mistake, one that's so subtle it often goes unnoticed: completely avoiding balance training. At first glance, this may seem harmless. After all, balance isn't something most people think they need to train. We treat it like breathing, automatic and permanent. But here's the truth. Balance is a learned skill, not a guaranteed one. It's a coordinated effort between your muscles, joints, nervous system, vision, and inner ear. And like any skill, it deteriorates without practice. As we grow older, we tend to become more cautious. We move slower to avoid falls. We avoid uneven ground. We stop reaching for high shelves or turning quickly. But while these habits may protect us in the short term, they create a long-term problem: underuse. The less we challenge our balance, the more our bodies forget how to react. Muscles become less responsive. The brain receives fewer signals. Our confidence takes a hit. And so the cycle begins. Less movement leads to less ability, which leads to even less movement. But the moment we start to gently reintroduce balance challenges into our daily routines, we can reverse the trend. And that's what we'll explore next. If you're still watching this and eager to keep learning how to move through life with confidence, drop a number 1 in the comments below. We'll continue in the next section with practical strategies to retrain your balance safely and effectively. Thank you for being here, and thank yourself too for taking the time to care for your health. Previously, we explored how weak foot and ankle strength can quietly undermine our balance. But there's another hidden culprit that's just as damaging, one that steals confidence without us even noticing the absence of balance training. You see, when movement becomes uncertain, we naturally begin to hesitate. A slight wobble, a misstep, a close call, these moments accumulate, slowly eroding our trust in our bodies. And that hesitation, it becomes a habit, a self-perpetuating cycle of decline. Just ask Linda, a 73-year-old woman I had the pleasure of training. She put it plainly: I just try not to move too fast anymore. When we put her through simple balance drills, standing with feet close together, walking heel to toe in a straight line, she was stunned. I had no idea I'd lost, that she confessed, her voice laced with surprise. I thought I was being careful, but I was making myself weaker. That's the paradox. In trying to avoid a fall, we often end up making ourselves more vulnerable to one. But the answer isn't risky stunts or extreme training. It's about gentle, deliberate reintroduction of instability in a safe and controlled manner. Try this stand on one foot while brushing your teeth, or explore the fluid motions of Tai Chi, an ancient practice known for improving coordination and balance. Walk heel to toe along a line with your arms outstretched for stability. Even something as simple as standing with your feet together, closing your eyes for a few seconds, and letting your body feel the shift can do wonders. These subtle actions don't just strengthen your muscles, they reawaken the brain-body connection. They retrain your system to adjust, recover, and stabilize more efficiently. Over time, this consistency doesn't just rebuild physical steadiness, it restores confidence. A person with strong balance moves differently. They stride with certainty. They navigate crowds and stairs without pause. They reach turn bend and react swiftly because they trust their body to respond. That trust, it's freedom. So don't let hesitation win. Avoiding balance training might feel like the safer route, but it's a silent thief. It gradually robs you of agility, reaction time, and ultimately independence. The remedy: embrace small challenges every single day. Remember, balance isn't just about staying upright. It's about staying capable, fearless, and fully free in every movement you make for years to come. Now let's talk about another mistake, one you might never suspect is contributing to instability: wearing the wrong footwear at home. It's subtle, almost too subtle. Most people don't give it much thought. But wearing improper shoes, or worse, going barefoot on slippery surfaces, is one of the leading preventable causes of falls among older adults. Why? Because your feet are your foundation. They are biomechanical marvels with dozens of bones, muscles, ligaments, and nerve endings working in harmony to stabilize your entire body. When you wear shoes with no support, loose slippers that slide with every step, or walk barefoot on slick tile or hardwood floors, you undermine that foundation. You disable your body's first line of defense against a fall. Let's look at Jack, a 79-year-old retiree who always shuffled around the house in socks. Comfortable? Yes. Safe? Not even close. One night, he got up to use the bathroom. A small throw rug caught his sock-covered foot. He slipped. Luckily, he grabbed the door frame just in time. It wasn't even the rug's fault, he later said. I realized my socks had no grip. I'd been sliding around my house for years without even realizing the risk. This isn't an isolated story. Shoes with thin, worn-out soles don't absorb shock. They transfer every impact straight to your joints, worsening pain from arthritis or previous injuries. Loose shoes allow your foot to shift with each step, destabilizing you. Even ultra-cushioned shoes can be harmful. They block your feet from feeling the ground, making it harder for your brain to make split-second adjustments. So what should you look for in a supportive, balance-friendly shoe? Start with firm arch support to maintain proper alignment. Choose flat but flexible soles that allow your feet to move naturally while still offering strong contact with the ground. High-quality, non-slip treads are essential indoors and outdoors. For daily walks, stick to reputable brands that focus on structure and durability. Indoors, invest in well-designed non-slip house shoes. Look for slippers with secure straps or grip socks with silicone patterns on the bottom for added traction. And remember, this isn't about style or even basic comfort. This is about giving your feet the tools they need to keep you steady, safe, and mobile. Poor footwear choices silently erode your trust in movement. But the right shoes, they work with your body's natural balance system, giving you a solid foundation from the ground up. So if you're serious about preventing falls and reclaiming your freedom, start by checking what's on your feet. The right footwear might just be the simplest and most powerful change you can make today. This is one of those behaviors that creeps in slowly. You hold onto the countertop while walking to the sink. You press your hand against the wall as you pass through a hallway. You grab the back of a chair for balance while moving across the room. Each action feels small and harmless, but over time they send a subtle message to your body: I don't trust you to do this on your own. What you're really doing is outsourcing your balance to your surroundings, and with every repetition, your body forgets how to stabilize itself. Muscles weaken, reflexes dull. Your inner balance system, the one controlled by your brain, inner ear, and muscles, stops being tested, and slowly it stops responding altogether. Take Sarah, a 75-year-old grandmother I worked with. Years ago, she had a minor fall. Nothing serious, but it shook her confidence. She started using a cane inside the house, just for peace of mind, she said. But soon it wasn't just the cane. She realized she couldn't walk across her living room without reaching for the wall. It was like my body forgot how to walk on its own, she told me. What started as a helpful precaution became a permanent crutch. With time and targeted practice, Sarah began rebuilding her strength. We created a program that gradually reduced her reliance on supports. The breakthrough came one day when she walked from her kitchen to the living room without touching a thing. I felt free, she said, stronger than I have in years. The truth is, the physiological consequences of constantly leaning on furniture are more serious than you might think. The postural muscles, those in your legs, hips, ankles, and core, that should be actively working with every step, start to grow weaker. Your vestibular system, the balance center in your inner ear, and proprioceptive system, which helps you sense your body's position, become underused and as a result slower and less precise. This means that when something unexpected happens, like a slip on a wet floor or a bump in the carpet, your body may not react quickly enough to catch you. That's when falls happen. And that's when confidence can be lost in an instant. You can test your own reliance right now. Try walking down your hallway or across your living room without touching any walls, furniture, or counters. How do you feel? Confident, or do you feel anxiety creeping in? Do your hands instinctively reach out for support? If so, your body may have grown dependent on external supports, and it's time to take that power back. Start small. Stand unassisted for 30 seconds near a sturdy surface. Then work up to a minute. And next, take a few slow, deliberate steps using a heel-to-toe motion. Focus on posture, head up, shoulders back. Gradually increase your distance each day. This isn't just physical training, it's psychological too. You're retraining your nervous system and rebuilding your belief in your body's ability to move independently. Most people are amazed by how quickly they regain control once they begin practicing. To be clear, this doesn't mean abandoning canes or walkers if you truly need them. This is about not defaulting to walls, countertops, or furniture as replacements for natural balance mechanisms. With time, consistency, and mindful movement, you can regain control over your body and dramatically reduce your risk of falling. Balance is an extraordinarily complex process that integrates input from multiple sensory systems. At the heart of this intricate dance are your eyes and your inner ears, playing lead roles in keeping you upright, stable, and aware of your body and space. As we age, our visual system undergoes subtle but impactful changes. Pupils become smaller and less responsive to light. The lenses in our eyes begin to yellow and stiffen. Light-sensitive cells in the retina gradually deteriorate. These changes don't just affect how well we see, they affect how confidently we move through the world. When your depth perception fades, judging how high to lift your foot for a step becomes harder. When contrast sensitivity declines, obstacles on patterned floors become harder to detect. When peripheral vision narrows, you miss visual cues that warn you of nearby hazards. Think about it. Have you ever walked from a brightly lit kitchen into a dim hallway and felt just a little off balance? That's your eyes struggling to adjust. When vision falters, your brain is left guessing, working with incomplete spatial data, and your risk of falling increases. Meanwhile, the vestibular system, the tiny but mighty network inside your inner ears, also begins to degenerate with age. These fluid-filled canals and delicate hair cells help detect changes in head position and motion relative to gravity. They're crucial for coordinating your movements and keeping your balance. When you turn, quickly tilt your head or shift your gaze. But as these structures weaken, your brain receives fuzzier signals, making it harder to react appropriately, especially in dynamic or unfamiliar environments. Tom, an 80-year-old retired tennis player, is a perfect example of how this decline can sneak up on us. For decades, he was agile and active. But recently, he began tripping more often, especially in low-light conditions or on unfamiliar sidewalks. I thought it was just normal aging, he told me. He chalked it up to clumsiness. But a full evaluation told a different story. Outdated glasses that didn't correct his worsening cataracts, significant hearing loss that affected his vestibular function, and a case of benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, BPPV, a common inner ear disorder. After updating his glasses, receiving hearing aids, and completing a targeted vestibular rehabilitation program, Tom saw dramatic improvement. It was like someone turned the lights back on, he said. I didn't realize how much sensory input I was missing until I got it back. Here's the crucial insight. Many of these age-related changes are not only treatable, they're often reversible. Yet they go unaddressed for years because they're mistaken for just getting older. That's why regular comprehensive eye exams are so important. Not just basic screenings, but detailed evaluations that look at cataracts, glaucoma, macular degeneration, and prescription accuracy. Testing your depth perception contrast. Sensitivity and peripheral vision can uncover hidden issues that are quietly sabotaging your balance. The same goes for your vestibular system. Disorders like BPPV labyrinthitis or Meniere's disease often respond remarkably well to physical therapy or medication when diagnosed properly. Vestibular rehabilitation guided exercises that retrain your balance system can work wonders. There are also warning signs you should never ignore. Do you trip more in low light? Struggle to judge steps or curbs? Feel dizzy when you turn your head or look up? Do crowded, visually busy environments make you feel disoriented? These are red flags that should prompt a visit to a vision or vestibular specialist. It's also worth noting that hearing plays a bigger role than many realize. Because your inner ear manages both hearing and balance, hearing loss can be linked to balance decline. In fact, many people who receive hearing aids report feeling more stable on their feet because they're better able to interpret environmental cues. The good news: solutions abound. Updated glasses, especially those designed for intermediate and near vision, can make navigating floors and stairs safer. Treating cataracts or macular degeneration can restore clarity and depth perception. Vestibular exercises, hearing aids, improved home lighting, and visual aids like contrast strips on stair edges all support better stability. What matters most is recognizing that vision and balance are not separate issues. They are deeply intertwined. Your eyes and ears provide critical real-time information to your brain, and without that clear data, even the strongest muscles can't keep you steady. When you take proactive steps to optimize these sensory systems, you're giving your body the full toolkit it needs to stay upright, confident, and independent. So what's one change you'll make today? Will you book that overdue eye exam? Try a simple vestibular exercise, or perhaps check whether your glasses still suit your current needs. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue to bring you valuable lessons to help you move with strength and live without fear. Remember, small steps today lead to steadier strides tomorrow. See you in the next video.